Ponyfans.com here with running back Zach Line, and Coach Jones said a minute ago that Saturday was your best game of the season, maybe of your career. Do you agree with that?
I thought I played well. I thought, even with not practicing all week, that it was a really good game for me, just the blocking and running. So I thought I executed my technique pretty well.
All right, you mentioned you didn't practice all week because of that hamstring. Did you have to lobby Coach Jones to get into the lineup? Because he said he's never had a running back, either in college or the pros, who didn't practice at least by Thursday and then got in the game. Was there a little politicking on your part?
I didn't do anything. I just was hoping to get in. I took my mental reps all week. I think he trusted me to block, and I think he was kind of questionable about my hamstring early in the runs, and he just kept asking me over and over again. I said, "It's good. Let's try it out," and then it was fine all game.
Was there anything that it did bother you, either in quick bursts or moving side to side, or maybe when you're blocking and had someone big leaning on you? Did it bother you at any time during the game?
It didn't bug me when blocking or burst. It was just like the beginning of halves, like the first half and the second half, before it was totally warmed up. So once I got it warm, it was good to go.
Going into the game on Saturday, Southern Miss's defense was described as some defenses are big like Memphis, some are active like TCU, and Southern Miss was described as being both. Was that the most active or the most complete defensive front you saw all year, and were you surprised that you put up the numbers you did?
I thought they were very active. They had, they all had a motor on them. Normally, you get a team with, one guy has a motor every other play. But this team, it seemed like every play, all of them were going at once. So you kind of had to, stay on your toes and be ready. They were just athletic, all of them were. So that was tough too, because they could finesse you or could run you over. So you kind of had to be ready for both. And numbers-wise, we still took care of took care of them pretty well up front. It was just kind of beating guys one-on-one in the secondary, where we left some yards on the field. That's on me.
A lot of times when you hear of a player who misses some practice time, but he's able to get ready to go for the game, then the next question is, how did it feel the day after? So how did your hamstring feel Sunday, Monday, today?
Felt good. It was a little tight on Sunday, and obviously today a little bit. It feels better today than it did. I've been getting on the bike and the elliptical and getting treatment. Felt good. I was actually surprised how it felt all game, and especially afterwards, because before the game it was still a little tight, and then once we started going, it was pretty much fine. Obviously, not practicing all week, your body gets a little soft, and you become a weak body. But so you kind of hurt a little bit more on Sundays everywhere else, but that comes every week anyway.
You did get on the bike a little bit today. How limited do you expect to be in practice this week?
I think Dr. Baker wanted to take kind of a similar role to last week, but I told him it felt a lot better, so he said we'll just take it slow, Monday, Tuesday, and maybe Wednesday, and then try to get in the swing of things Wednesday, Thursday. So.
All right, you got another big game coming up this week at Tulsa. They have a new coaching staff, and a lot of attention has been paid to what their offense will be like, but I know you've started to peek at their defensive tape a little bit. Is there a significant change in the schemes that they're running on defense?
Last year they were a pretty boring defense. They had, I think, one blitz that kind of threw us off a little bit because it was just tough to zone it off. They got that new coordinator from, I think, Utah State, and he when they played Coach Jones, ran a lot of heat on them. So we're preparing for that. We're preparing for what we saw last year, and really the same thing we do every week. We prepare for every blitz there could possibly be in the world, and hope for it to come because we know how to block it.
Tulsa comes into this game with 3 losses, but they're against 3 really good teams: Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, and Boise State. What kind of sense do you have for just how good this team is that you're going to see on Saturday?
I think they're the best team to play because we're next. That's how we're kind of seeing this year going right now. You can't start looking ahead yet. I think they're obviously a good team. Every year we play Tulsa, they give us a run for our money, and we just got to come out and play this week because we got to improve our image from last week because that was a rough ride, and nobody likes losing.